Today we continue with our class, A Woman's Guide to Practical Halachah. And we start with Sefer Halashon. And today's topic, Lying in Disgrace. Okay, so let's see. The obligation to bury the mace mitzvah, unattended corpse, rests upon all Jews without exception. The Talmud Brachos 19b states that even Kohen Gadol, high priest, a Nazir, okay, or someone who is on his way to the temple to bring Pesach sacrifice must attend to the mace mitzvah. Okay, so let's try to understand. So it's a little halacha, and of course it's relevant to our discussion. So mace mitzvah is unattended grave, unattended corpse. Somebody died. You are on your way to wherever you go, and you see there is a corpse. Nobody is trying to bury it, so you have to stop everything that you're doing and attend to this corpse. And there are no exceptions. So what does it mean, no exception? Even Kohen Gadol. So Kohen Gadol, meaning the high priest, about whom we learn that Torah says even if his wife is going to die, even if his parents are going to die, sisters, brothers, right? He's not allowed to impurify himself. But why? Because nation needs his source in the Beis Hamikdash. That's so important. And even a person like that, he sees a mace mitzvah, somebody passed away, there is nobody to bury it because it's a disgrace for a person, for a dead person to lie there like that. So that's so even people like that must stop everything and bury. And even Nazir. So Nazir is a person who accepted upon himself not to drink wine, not to eat any grape products, all of the byproducts, whatever, skin and even pits, right? And not to cut his hair, and not to touch the dead, or not to be contaminated, not to get contaminated with the dead. Even he made the vow. Even a person like that must stop everything and tend to this great mitzvah, mace mitzvah. Okay, just it's an introduction, just a side point. So all of these crazy non-Jews, what they do, they open, when they bury somebody, they open casket, and they have like people come and like kiss even the dead person. Of course, it is the hugest disgrace to that dead body, and sometimes the dead body would and they embalm them and lay open for people to see, like maybe great leaders or something, like for even for several days. That's what you do, how you behave if you don't have Torah. Continue. The Sefer Haredim 106 to 261 writes that a mitzvah which the current generations is neglected is akin as a mace mitzvah. When no one pursues the given mitzvah, pursue it. Otherwise, the mitzvah ascends before having a throne and complains, "How lowly I am, for I am all but forgotten from among the people." That's amazing piece, right? So it says Sefer Haredim. This was a very important book that was written not a long time ago, right? A few hundred years ago. So he's saying that same as a corpse that lying next to the highway, next to the road, and nobody is paying attention. So there's a mitzvah today. He says in our generation it's like a mitzvah that is neglected. I think that there are many mitzvahs that are neglected, right? And so it comes to Hashem and complains why nobody is doing it, right? So like this poor person who passed away, and there are no relatives, no friends to bury him. So this nobody take care of him. So this lonely mitzvah. Okay, so let's see what's going on. What is the actual mace mitzvah? A lifeless corpse, right? Because mitzvahs, we know, is a part of the Torah, which tree of life. Okay. Mitzvah is a lifeless corpse. The Torah is stringent regarding its burial. not because of what it is now, but because of it was once was. The abode of Jewish soul. It's very, very interesting concept. So it's not like so he's the dead person. So that does he feel embarrassment because that's how we start. It's a disgrace for a dead body. Does the dead person feels any disgrace that he cringe or something like? No, nothing is going on, right? So what is the disgrace? So disgrace is for this body because it used to be a abode for Jewish soul. That's why it's disgrace. It is thus that the Torah requires that a Kohen Gadol, who is not permitted to tend to a corpse, or even his own father and mother, tend to meis mitzvah, right? I also said wife. I think he's not allowed to tend to wife, but maybe it's an exception. I don't exactly remember. Could be an exception. Okay, so that it's not lying in disgrace, right? So continue. So even Kohen Gadol, who is not allowed to bury his mother and father, I think we learned in a different class Mishnah Yoma. So he's allowed, I think, follow from the distance, right? So I mean, the procession that goes to the cemetery. Surely then, if a mitzvah of the Torah, which is more precious than gems, as it says Mishnah 3:13, and it is a daily delight of the one above, right? So, is lying in disgrace. It is our obligation to strengthen ourselves in its observance. So it is not because of indictment of our generation before Hashem. Indictment, what does it mean, indictment? That this mitzvah is going to go up to Hashem. He said, look, you said that I'm holy, I'm so precious, that all of these Jewish people are going to get reward abundantly because of me, and now they neglect me. What's going on? To our misfortune, so meaning if it's abandoned, nobody doing it, that's why we have to jump in and say, yeah, I'm going to do it. To our misfortune, the concept of Lashon Hara is woefully ignored by many of our generation. Thus make it's a meis mitzvah in our day, right? So people speak freely, they read news, even the people call like kosher news, yeshiva world, this world, that world. It is a disgrace. I had a conversation with somebody just recently. He said, no, this person said, I read only Torah news. So what Torah news? Like, what is the news there? Right? So even if they quote, let's say, they publish an article that everybody knows in the secular world, right? About a Jew that did whatever he did. Let's say, is it true? Not true? It's not proven. Right? It's not proven, but he's a suspect. And they publish it, and even if it was proven 100% beyond any doubt, even in a Beis Din, it was proven in a Beis Din that this person is a criminal. Okay, still there is no permission for us to publicize it. So how can you call these Torah outlets, Torah news outlets like kosher? They are not. How great then is the reward for those who rescue the mitzvah from disgrace, but faithfully adhering to the laws of Shmiras Halashon. So he said, in nowadays, that's a meis mitzvah. Shmiras Halashon. Okay, stop here. Second. All right. So let's see. I think last time we finished chapter. Yeah. Okay. So next chapter. There is no numbers in chapters. Okay, whatever. So they're just topics, different topics. Doesn't matter. Okay. So it says preferred time for cutting nails. Okay. It is a mitzvah for a person to cut his/her nails in honor of Shabbos. This should be done specifically on Friday rather than on Thursday, because nails begin to grow again on a third day from when they are cut. And since Shabbos is the third day, the nails will not be attractive on Shabbos as they begin to grow. Okay. So let's continue, and then we explain. Following this reasoning, one should certainly not cut one's nails earlier than Thursday. Therefore, if the nails cannot be cut on Friday, for example, Friday is Yom Tov, then Thursday, rather than Wednesday, is preferred day. Certainly, if one has a specific reason to cut nails early in a week, one would be allowed to do so. So let's try to understand. So now, just so we're on the same page. So he's going to bring different topics. So it's not like in Shulchan Aruch, like in all of these morning laws, then prayers, then Shema, Shmones. Okay, it's not. Okay, so it's a different topic. So now we jumped into the topic of cutting nails. So and we know that in preparation of Shabbos, how you honor Shabbos, right? So you cut your nails, right? You take a haircut if you need one, right? In honor of the Shabbos. So and the best way, the proper way to do it on Friday afternoon. So why Friday afternoon? Because it's obvious you did in honor of Shabbos. So if you do it Friday morning or Tuesday evening, it's not so obvious, right? So but Friday afternoon is the best time. But of course, if she cannot or he cannot, of course, do it in the morning, Friday morning. Still, it's obvious, it's honor of Shabbos. If still you cannot, do on Thursday, right? So Thursday is if you don't have any other choice, right? Wednesday, it's like too much. As we said, three days. So the nails start grow on the third day after they've been cut. Very interesting. And of course, it's possible, as we said, Friday could be Yom Tov. Could be Friday and Shabbos, Yom Tov. It's possible, right? So you cut your nails on Thursday. Okay, and they say, of course, if a specific reason, I don't know what a specific reason, maybe job interview and stuff like that. Okay, you can cut your nails earlier, no problem. But preferably to do it in honor of Shabbos. There are a few things that, many things that do not cost us anything, like but they bring the honor of Shabbos. Like everything you have to do, like do it as close to Shabbos as possible, and declare this is Lakovat Shabbos. Continue. According to Kabbalah, one should not cut one's fingernails and toenails on the same day. Therefore, in order to look one's best for Shabbos, the toenails should be cut on Thursday and fingernails on Friday. Okay, so let's continue, then we return. It's very interesting. If one forgot to cut toenails on Thursday, they should be cut on Friday at the same time as fingernails. In regards to this halachah, Thursday night is considered to be the same as Thursday day. A married woman who must cut her nails before Tevilas mitzvah should cut her fingernails and toenails on the same day as her Tevilah takes precedence over these halachas. Okay, let me see if continuation. Okay, so let's try to understand. So we have these Kabbalistic reasons. So he does not say, but we're going to explain that not to cut the nails, the toenails and fingernails on the same day. So what is the problem? The problem is that it looks like that's what they do for a dead person. So after a person dies, right, they do taharat, they pour water. There's a special ritual how they cleanse this dead person. And one of the things that they do for that person, that cut nails, because even though the person dies, the nails continue to grow, right? So they cut the nails, and they die, and they cut all of them, all the nails in a sequence, hands, like fingernails and toenails. I mean, there's no other day. Like usually we bury in the same day, if possible. For example, if elderly person or we expected person to die very soon, so and we arrange all of the things needed. So, for example, somebody passed in the middle of the night, so we can bury that person during the day. It's actually big respect, as actually we read in another book. So not to keep this dead body like in this world, but cover it with the ground as soon as possible. That's respect for a dead person. So of course we do everything at the same time. So now of course it's that's why Kabbalah said do not do it at the same day. Bad luck, right? Okay, but we said so what can we do? We said cut the toenails on Thursday and fingernails on Friday. So of course, usually people don't cut toenails like every week. So maybe every other week, once in 3 weeks, whatever. It depends on a person. But try to separate. Do on one day, on Thursday, toenails. On Friday, we do fingernails. And it's very very interesting point here. I'm okay. So he's bringing from the book Shmiras Haguf v'Hanefesh. Okay, so it's very, very interesting. So he said that Thursday day for this halacha and Thursday night is exactly the same. So Thursday night technically, right, halachically, like for other purposes, would be Friday. Like today, like after 3 stars, depends where you're located. By me, I don't know, what is it, 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m. It's already next day, let's say, right? So I mean, you have so many hours, but for the purposes of this halacha, for whatever reason, it's still Thursday day and night. It's the same day. Okay, no problem. And then since this book is also can concern itself a lot about women, so we said that a woman, when woman has to go into the mikveh, it's like she counted 7 clean days. Now it's her day. So in preparation for going to the mikveh, she must cut her nails. So if it's going to be Monday, so cut on Monday. Sunday, cut on Sunday if needed, right? So that takes precedence over this cutting of the nails. Okay. Continue. Because why women must cut nails before going to the mikvah? Because it might be some dirt under the nails, and it could be considered chatzitza. So chatzitza is a separation. So the dirt under the nails could be what is it? A separation between the water and the skin. So that's why we're trying to be careful and cut the nails very short, and that's why you need the mikvah lady. So the mikvah lady always check the nails and other things. Okay. Continue. So in order to cut one's fingernails, based on Kabbalah, and it's also brought in Halacha. Okay. For the left hand, in order is first the ring finger, then the index finger, then pinky, then middle finger, then thumb. Right. So let's see. So first we said Kabbalistically that's the reason not to cut on one day, because that's what they do on the dead people. It's first reason. And second reason, like since for dead people we just cut all of the nails like in sequence. So we try to do like Kabbalistically in a different order. So we start with the left hand. The first is the ring finger, so it's a ring finger, then index finger, right? The index finger, then pinky, right? Then pinky, then middle, and the thumb. So basically, so we understand we jump from this to this, and back, right? So we don't cut in a succession. So we always jump to different sides, right? Then okay, for the right hand, the order of different mnemonic, index finger. so it's opposite, index finger. Then ring finger, so it's like jump from opposite direction, right? Thumb, middle finger, and pinky. Okay. So it's actually Shulchan Aruch brings, and Mishnah Berurah bring different different traditions, but basically I think that this one is the most common one. Even if one does not follow this order, for example, not all nails are being cut, exactly, very interesting point. One should still not to cut the adjacent nails one after another. This order does not apply to the toenails. Okay, I mean some goes more stringently, and it's actually, it says in Darchei Moshe. Okay, so some go a little stringently. Say they still don't cut adjacent nails even for toenails, but whatever you do for toenails is good, right? And here it's very interesting point. So sometimes, for example, not all of the nails must be cut. So if not all, just try to use the same sequence, or if you need to cut only for nails on two fingers, so make sure that they're not adjacent. So you can cut, well, let's say only two fingers, like two fingers together, one on this side and one on another hand. That's it. So okay. Any questions on what we said? Fingernails.
Yes, Humble Rabbi, I got a couple questions.
Go ahead, please.
You said concerning the women, as far as going to the mikveh, that they should cut their nails. What if your wife goes to the nail shop and has their nails done? What does she do? Does she?
I apologize. Could you say it again? If what?
If she goes to like the nail shop and gets nails done, if she can't cut them.
Oh, that's not what. Okay. So that's of course, that's a good question. So the women usually plan it ahead. So they usually do the nails after they go to the mikveh, not before, because she knows in 2 days, 3 days, whatever. She knows that she's going to go to the mikveh. That's why we're to do the nails. It's like a waste of money. Understand? But after she dips to the mikveh, she would go to nail salon. Okay. What was it, the question, or you meant something else?
Yes.
Okay. What else?
And
the
then,
second question.
And then also, are we allowed to go get like a manicure?
Men?
Nail shop and get yes.
For men, there is a. Yeah. I got your question. So there is a halacha that men should not go in a women's way, and women should not go in a men's way, right? So usually that's what this nail thing is a women's activity. You understand that's what they do for beautification purposes and stuff like that. Men usually don't do it, but the question was asked. For example, somebody have very bad nails and around the nails. It's it's for this person it's impossible to do it by himself, and it's he's getting infection, stuff like that. So in this case, for medical reasons, so we would allow him to go, but make sure that nobody sees you. Like if you have keepers, just wear a baseball cap and go in a base back of this place, because somehow all of this nails salons are they on a main street where I live, for example, right? And some people they do the manicure. When they drive the nails, they like to sit next to the window. So you're passing by and sometimes they're men. I'm not sure if they normal, not normal. I don't know. So but they would sit and chat with the women looking outside. That's too much. But if he needs for medical reasons, right? So because he's getting infection, stuff like that, and he cannot do it at home, so it would be allowed. But otherwise, no. And same with other things, like one of the reasons. So that women are not allowed to serve in the military. So why is that? Even if they wear skirts, right? So why? Because they would carry a gun or some weapons. So weapons are usually men think, and that's official explanation why women are not allowed to serve in the military, and some other things, and that's why women are not allowed to wear pants, besides the modesty issue, and some other things. Okay. What else? Okay.
Also, when you said you follow the order of cutting your nails for Shabbos, if you don't cut them, if you cut them earlier, like say Wednesday or Thursday, you still have to follow that order.
Yes. Yeah. So
every
order.
time?
Yes. So order has nothing to do with this. I mean, as we said, if we're talking about women, she needs to go to the mikveh. She needs to go on Monday. She would still cut in this sequence. Why? Because as we said, Kabbalistically, that's what they do for dead people. So it's very not recommended. Very not recommended. Okay. So at least some. I have a student, and this lady, and she cannot remember. So she asked me 7 times, and I send you like a screenshot. She still asked me. I don't know. She lost it. Whatever. I said, okay, just make sure don't cut like adjust the nails. Just like skip one, and that's it. But if you don't want to remember, but otherwise just follow the formula. It's actually pretty easy. You start from a second finger, then the fourth. If you cut then the first, then the middle, and then the thumb. That's it. And then from on a right hand, you start always from a second finger, then fourth, and you jump back and forth. That's it. No adjusting fingers. Okay. Any other questions before we continue? Okay, no problem. So let's continue. So next topic, same topic, but subtopic: disposing of the nail clippings. So that's also very, very important, right? So it says, Gemara tells us that a woman who is expecting passes over cut nails, it can have a harmful effect on the fetus. One explanation based on Kabbalah said that before they sinned, the entire bodies of Adam and Chava were covered with the nails like nail-like substance. After the sin, only their fingernails and toenails. After the sin, only their fingernails and toenails had nails. Okay. After the fingers and toes had nails. I apologize. Okay. Thus, the nails have a detrimental negative association with a woman. Since Chava, who convinced Adam to eat from Eitz Hadas, tree of knowledge, is considered to be an instigator of the sin. So let's try to understand what's going on. So Kabbalah says that so some people are very not careful like when they cut the nails when the nail goes. Some of them go on the floor, like on a bed and in the bathroom, on the counter. So it's besides being disgusting, right? That's actually, as Kabbalah says, have a very harmful effect on the fetus. So if she's pregnant, she's expectant, so it can actually harm the fetus. So if she steps or even passes over without even stepping, right? That's so explanation, as we just said. It was Adam and Chava, and that's why angels made a mistake, and they thought that Adam is actually God, right? Why? Because he was covered. His skin was like a fingernail, like substance, like I guess, right? And it was like reflecting the light, so it was shining like a sun, and that's why angels did not know like who is this. So they thought that it's actually God, right? And after, so and he was splendorous and stuff like that. And after he did the sin with Chava's help, of course, so Hashem lowered their rank, and they have only remembrance on the fingernails, right? The fingernails and toenails. And there is a reason. Actually, we spoke about Havdalah recently. Of course, as I said, whatever I said at that time, it was only a summary. The subject is Havdalah much longer, right? But one of the things, one of the reasons why we look at the nails and try to see reflection of this candlelight on the nails, because that's we have to remember what happened to Adam. So he was kicked out on Erev Shabbos from Gan Eden, and it's like everything is left. What is left from his glory, from his former glory, we have a remembrance. These little nails, right? And of course, Hashem gave him wisdom. He was very scared. Adam was very scared to spend the whole night in a complete darkness. So Hashem gave him wisdom to rub 2 stones, and he got the light, right? He got the light, and that's why we make a blessing on the Hamotzi Shabbos on light. Why? Because that's when the fire came into the world. Not the light, but the fire. Light of the fire. Okay, that's the thing. That's a connection between nails and Adam and Havdalah. Continue. So since she, in some sense, so she was instigator of the sin. So now her descendants, right? Chava's descendants, all these women, right? So they're going to suffer from this, right? She made Adam eat, and the glory to lower the glory in the form of the nails. So now these nails are going to harm her descendants. It's very, very interesting, but it's measure for measure, as we always see. As a result, one must be careful when cut where the nail clippings fall. Just 1 second. Where the nail clippings fall when cutting them. One may let the clippings fall in a place where women seldom walk, such as Beis HaMedrash. Okay, it's a Mishnah Berurah. So it's very interesting paragraph. So it says the danger for these nails, the cut nails, is only for women that are expecting. So not for men. So for them there is no problem. So he said, okay, if you want to cut them on the floor, which is I think it's disgusting practice, but I saw people do it, and I remember taking a subway, and some people in a New York City subway, people do many different strange things. Even many years ago, they would cut nails, they'd read newspapers, that's the most modest one. Women would apply makeup and stuff like that. I mean, people would eat, chat, do many crazy things. New York subway. So of course, and these people would clip the nails right on the floor, which is disgusting. Okay, but he said if there is no other choice for whatever reason, do not ask me, but you can do it when women usually don't walk. Where? Beis HaMedrash. So in yeshiva usually there is no women. Okay, so even if she would come to call her husband, but still it's she's not going to walk around. Maybe she would ask somebody to go into the room, not to disturb other men. So that's the proper thing to do. Continue. The Gemara states that the best way to ensure that expectant women do not step over the nail cuttings is to burn them, so that they would no longer be of concern. The next best method is to bury them. However, in that case, they might resurface. There is a dispute among the poskim: is flushing them or washing them down the drain comparable to the burning or burying them? Right? That's a very interesting thing, but that's what we actually do. So Gemara says burn them. So if you burn them, so for sure you are tzaddik and tzaddikah. So you remove these nails from this world. So nobody is going to suffer because of you. That's as we said, it's a great mitzvah not to get other people to suffer because of us. So you said I don't have anybody expecting in my house, but how do you know? Maybe somebody is going to come. Maybe, I don't know, somebody, whatever, a guest, you're going to have a guest. And how do you know this lady is expecting? You don't know, right? So, right, so the best way to burn them. Second best way to bury them. Of course, when you burn them, they smell disgusting, of course. I mean, if you have place somewhere, if you have like big property somewhere in the backyard, you can do, but some people bury them. But when you burn them, usually people don't burn them like too deep. So after a few rains, they might resurface, right? So they don't disintegrate so fast, nails, right? So they say. So the discussion is a poskim, and that's what we do. Like most of the people that I know, that's what we do. We just flush them in the toilet, right? When you flush them in the toilet, they go to these cleaning facilities, right? And I think that they filter them out. That's what's going on, and they throw this garbage somewhere else. So it's very, very unlikely that somebody would step on them. Okay. Continue. Nail clippings can be harmful to the expected woman only if she steps over them in a place where they originally fell. However, if they were swept away from the spot where they fell, they can no longer cause harm. Therefore, if one has dropped a nail clipping on the floor and does not see it where it fell, the floor should be swept, thereby moving the clippings. So that's it's a very, very important rule also. So of course we're talking kabbalistically, we're talking about spiritually. It's not like this nail is going to go into her and travel through her foot into this her stomach, into the baby. It's not, right? It's all spiritual. So these nails that's cut clippings have a powerful, the spiritual powerful to cause damage, to cause harm only when they in the original place. When they fall, person cut, they fall, and they do not know where they fell, so they left it like that. She stops over, and here we go, harm. That's why sometimes they some small pieces they flying away. You don't know. So that's what we do in my house. In our house, that we just sweep a little. So you cannot find it's a little piece, tiny piece. So just sweep a little in a place where you think it might be, right? You sweep a little, and that's it. So you move it from original place. That's more than enough, even though it is there. So next time when you go to wash the floor, sweep the floor. For sure, you're going to get it. But as of now, it's not in the original place, so there is no danger. Continue. An expected woman who goes to the nail salon must be very careful. Wow, that's very interesting where she walks, since it is likely that there are nail clippings on the floor. There is a dispute among the poskim if there is concern also applicable to toenails clippings. That's amazing one, right? So he says, as an expectant woman is go to salon. So you go to salon. I mean, most of them like owned by not Jews, so they do not care. So a few pieces of clippings will fall on the floor. Do they care? They do not care. So this is expected woman. Like it's very dangerous. She must be very careful. I'm not sure what exactly she can do. I'm not sure. Maybe I would say do not go to the salon if she cares about the baby, right? Not being harmed, but it says be very, very careful. Okay, continue. There is a dispute among the poskim if these concerns are also applicable to toenails clipping. So toenails, so for sure, as we saw before, the fingernails are like more dangerous, like more spiritually dangerous than toenails. But as we said, there is a dispute among the poskim. Some say yes, some say no. Okay, continue. Any questions so far on what we said?
Yes, Rob, I got a couple questions.
Yes.
As far as the wife going to the nail salon, when she has her nails clipped, does she need to tell the tech to cut them in a certain order?
If it's possible, yes, that's a good question. Yeah. So just give them the order. Start from left hand, like second finger, then fourth, right? Then jump to the first, middle, and thumb. Yeah, absolutely. I think it would be like they would like it. I think these ladies. Yeah. Because you see, it does not matter. You cutting for yourself and or they cutting for you, especially as we said in Kabbalah. He did not mention, but we know from other sources that that's what they do for dead people. Of course, dead people don't cut their own nails. Somebody else is doing it for them. So I would say, yeah, that's a point for concern. Okay. Good question. Any other question before we continue? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
You said something about burning the nails. How would you go about doing that process of burning the nails?
Okay, it's simple. So you have let's say a can. You have you open a can. I don't know, corn, like tuna, whatever you open, the thin the thin can. Right, so you put nails and put some piece of paper, whatever nails, and then burn it with a match. That's it. They're going to burn. So some of them maybe take some cardboard or some. It take maybe a minute, but it's going to stink. Just so you know, don't do it at home for sure. Right. So some people do it. Some smokers, I know, like olden days they would do it in ashtray. But the smell is terrible. So do it outside. If you do it outside, you don't have to stand and watch, and there is no problem. Okay, but as we said today, many people don't have luxury. They're afraid of making fire, and it's going to stink, and to the neighbors are going to complain. So the second best way is just flush them down the toilet. That's it. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, no problem. So continue. It's last point in this topic. So it says washing hands after nail cutting. After one's nails are cut, whether she did it herself or it was done by someone else, a ruach ra, evil spirit, rests on one's hands and must be washed. And one must wash her hands to remove the ruach ra. So, I mean, we have to understand all of the things are applicable to men also as well. So it's not like women halakha, but since not all of the halachas applies to women, so we're going from opposite, right? So, right, we state whatever is applied to women, but same thing applies to men. So after cutting nails, doesn't matter, you did it yourself or somebody else cut it for you, you must wash your hands. So the second person who cuts your nail does not have to wash, if I remember correctly, right? So, but the person whose nails are being cut, get his ruach ra. So what is ruach ra? It's the spirit of impurity. It's the one that we get when we wake up in the morning. So it's pretty severe, right? This should be done as soon as possible after the nails are cut. Preferably, one should wash the hands to the wrist. That like what we do after the restroom, right? Or at least until the end of the fingers. So, like as always, 1 second. As always, the proper way to remove ruach ra, it's up to the wrist, so that's how much you do. But if for whatever reason you don't have enough water, up to the fingers. That's the second best. Okay. There is when the fingers meet the palm of the hands. Okay, exactly as we showed. Some poskim maintain that washing one's hand once on each hand is enough, while others require 3 times. This applies even if only one nail is cut. So even let's say she broke her nail and she went and she fixes it with a file, it's still considered to be cutting, right? So she must wash both of her hands, even for like small thing. Okay. If one bites one's nails out of habit, then the above rules do not apply. So that's a very interesting thing. So we have a student that his challenge in this world is not to cut nails, especially on Shabbos. So, but some people they do, and unfortunately, and this person trying to sincerely stop himself, and it's not so easy. I mean, for people who don't have this addiction, it's maybe sounds silly or funny, but somebody who have this addiction, it's not so simple. Right, okay. So basically one who bites his nail does not have to wash the hands. Okay. Any questions on what we said about nails, or are we going to different topic? Okay. So as I said before, these topics are not. Maybe he had something in mind, but so far I don't see any logical connection, right? One topic to another. So next topic is the Tefillah HaDerech. So it's Tefillah HaDerech. It's a prayer when you do before you travel, right? It's should be in your siddur. Okay. So let's see the obligation. The Gemara tells us that one who travels a considerable distance must say Tefillah HaDerech. Okay. So Tefillah is a prayer. Derech is a way, road, right? Then the distance is parasa. So what they ask, what is the considerable distance? Parasa. Parasa is equivalent to 8,000 amos. Okay, opinions vary as to the size of the amal. So okay. So let's finish. And therefore, equivalent measurement of parasa differs accordingly. In practice, parasa is said approximately 2.5 miles. So it's pretty long distance. I mean, if you walk, if you going in a car, it's not so much, right? So amai is the elbow. So we usually count when we do calculation in this class. So we count a little less than 2 feet. But sometimes for simplicity we just add 2 feet, right? To approximate, right? So here we're talking about 8,000 amos, 2.5 miles. Okay. Halachic distance. When the Gemara refers to travel in a parasa, it means one travels the distance out of the city. It is only then that we presume the probability of danger and required supplication for safety. Some poskim maintain that one who drives 2.5 miles on a winding highway, but still within the parasa, from the outskirts of the city, should say Tefillah HaDerech. So let's stop here and try to understand. So this 2.5 miles, right? It's only when you drive beyond the city. So technically, if you have a big city, for example, or some city like one going like they're so close. You drive in one city, main street in this town, and now maybe main street it's already different town, right? So of course it's considered to be halachically one city. It's only when you go beyond the city limit officially. So there is no houses there. It's like fields and stuff like that, or woods, right? That's why when what we call beyond the city limit, right? Or for example, somebody was asking me in an airport. We're going to cover airport. Oh yeah, during the air travel. Okay, so we're going to leave it for later. But so I explained this person. So this person did not realize. So airports are usually they in a city limit, right? They inside of the city. But when you go when you fly off, that's when you're going out of the city limit. But when you're still in the airport, there is no reason to say, right? You're still in the city. So, okay. So one more time, it's outside of the city limit. So then it is some kind of danger. But if in a big city you can drive in, I don't know, maybe an hour, more than an hour, and still you don't need to say any blessings. Okay. Next one, develop neighborhoods. There is a doubt among the poskim about a very common situation. If person travels many parasa, but throughout the duration of the journey, he is always within parasa of civilization. Right? So like next to the highway on the left, on the right, there are communities, right? Does the journey require Tefillas HaDerech? This is common when traveling on a highway with a build up neighborhoods alongside them. So of course we see it. Do we assume that since it is a parasa of civilization, right, there is not enough danger to warrant the recitation of Tefillas HaDerech? There are various customs whether one should recite HaDerech in such cases. The custom is not to recite Tefillas HaDerech when traveling in a city, even though there is a risk of accident on a road. Okay. So is he going usually? So let's put it this way: he does not answer the question. He does not. So I think the custom is if you travel and there are communities like build up build up neighborhoods and not too far, like less than 2.5 miles apart from one another. So you do not say the blessing. But if you go like beyond that and you drive to the mountains on summer, like then you would need to say this Tefillas HaDerech. Okay. Let me see if we have time to start next piece. Any questions on what we said? Okay, so let's do at least one more piece and then we can start. The appropriate time to recite Tefillas HaDerech. The appropriate time to recite Tefillas HaDerech is when one has already started on a journey, not before, but when he already started, okay, or she started. Thus, one should not say it in a city, but only once one has left the city boundaries and travel approximately an additional 70 amos. So 70 amos is 140 feet approximately. Okay. So not too far, but okay. Okay. Which approximately? I'm not sure why he said 100 feet. I don't know. Whatever. So we calculate almost 140. Okay. Since there is opinion that one can say it while still in a city, as long as he knows that he is about to leave. In difficult situation, one may rely on that opinion. Okay, so he's actually bringing Mishnah Berurah. So a person, for example, he's not going to able to stop once they left the city. He was not on the highway, like pull over, and then it's a busy highway, and then try to go back to the road. That's a little too much. So in this case, if you want to say, if you're driving toward the outskirts of the city, if you have like safe place to pull over, no problem. Or if you remember by heart, also there is no problem. You can say it by heart, and then continue driving. Okay, but it's proper to do it, as I said, when you leave the city limit. But as we said, if needed, you can say before you actually left. Okay. Therefore, if one is alone and does not know Tefillas HaDerech by heart and is hesitant to read it while driving, that's it's good to be hesitant, and has no option to pull it over, she may recite it in a car before beginning the journey. As we said, on a busy highway, it's dangerous to pull over, to stop, to brake. Okay, so she can do it, or he can do it while still in the house, right? Before leaving. As mentioned, Tefillas HaDerech is generally recited after the journey has already started. Preferably, it should be recited during the first parasa of the trip. Okay. Also very interesting. So as soon as possible. It's like insurance, right? So if you have like car insurance, you don't want to tell them start like three months from now, or house insurance, whatever you have. Insurance, no, you want to start right away. You want to be covered from this moment on, right? If for whatever reason one did not recite it then, it may be still said at any point during the trip, as long as it is not within the parasa of destination city. It's very interesting. So even if a person forgot, did not have a text, okay, for whatever reason, so you can still say it anywhere during the trip. The only condition is still 2.5 miles left until the destination, which is okay. Once one reaches that point, if one is still traveling, one may still Tefillas HaDerech without saying concluding bracha that includes Hashem's name. This is because at this point one is deemed to be out of the considerable danger. So of course there is danger, and anything can happen when you in the last mile. Of course we don't deny it, but comparable to the whole trip, when it was, of course, the danger was much greater. So the grand danger is not as great. So I would recommend everyone to get pocket size siddur, right, and keep it in the car, or get a siddur on a phone, right, free siddur, or pay for the siddur. So you can always have access to these extra blessings. Of course, if you ask me if I remember, I don't remember. In our siddur, it's 4 pages or so, all of these beautiful blessings and praises. So I don't remember them by heart. Okay, so we can stop here. Any questions on what we said, or any topic? Go ahead.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
So what it's called, it's the Wayfarer's Prayer, correct? When you're traveling?
Yeah. What's that? Wayfarer's Prayer. Yes. Wayfarer's Prayer. Yeah.
Okay. So when we leave, we do the trip, say the prayer. Now on the return trip, do we say it again, or does that one time cover it, going and coming?
You usually say it only once. So if it was planned, for example, you go into somewhere to the park, right? So you went to the park, you spend your day in the park, and then you're going back, return from the park with the kids. Okay, so it's actually the same trip. So you need to say it only once. But if you travel continually, for example, you you came to the city A, right? You spend the night, and in the morning you travel. You travel to the city B. So it's not so you, and then your final destination is city C, right? So in this case, you would need to say every day in the morning, since it's a different traveling time. So you would need to say different blessing. But going back and forth, it's the same trip. It's not two separate trips. Okay. Any other questions?
So every time you stop until you reach the destination, you say it.
No.
Yes.
No. I mean, what was I? If during the day, if you stop to eat, to have lunch, you stop to go to the bathroom, it's the same trip. You don't say. If you stop, if you have multiple day trip, then you say every day.
Okay. So like me, for instance, I go out days at a time for work, so I have to stay, at certain places. So I have to stay the night there, and then in the morning say the prayer again.
Yes,
right?
yeah, it's totally different trip. Next morning, it's totally different trip. So, but most of the time we say only one blessing during the day because it's same trip. Even if you stop in different places, does not make any difference. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so no problem. So let's stop here then. So yeah, go ahead, please.
So does Yom Kippur atones for the cardinal sins?
For what sins?
Cardinal sins, immorality.
Cardinal? No. Okay, so let me. That's an amazing question. So let me repeat the question. So the question: if Yom Kippur atones for the cardinal sins, first of all, Yom Kippur, there are two opinions among our sages. So Rabbi Akiva said that the day of Yom Kippur atones. That's it, just day. You don't know that since the day came and it's atones, right? But the sages say no, only if you do teshuvah Yom Kippur helps. Otherwise, it does not help at all, right? So halacha actually follows the sages. It's we learn it in Rambam Hilchas Teshuvah. We have these lectures on Beezrat Hashem channel on YouTube. If you're interested, please watch them. It's because there we're going into details. So if person, especially cardinal sins. So if the person did teshuvah, for example, he had illicit relations, for example, right? He did teshuvah, he feels very sorry, committed not to do it again, right? Fix it, okay? So as much as he can, of course. Then the Yom Kippur for sure helps, yes. Then Yom Kippur atones. And this person, teshuvah is an amazing thing. It has nothing to do with this world order, right? With the nature. So that's why Hashem had to create Teshuvah before he created the world. As Rabbi Reuven Shlita says this example many times, it's like somebody robbed a bank, right? And he's in front of the judge, and the judge said, "So what do you have to say in your defense?" And this person said, "I'm very sorry. I'm never going to do it again." So usually judge say, "Okay, you're never going to do it again. You know why? Some because you're going to prison for 15 years. Yeah, at least for 15 years. You're not going to rob banks." But but Hashem's in His mercy, He would say no. Okay, as a judge, right? So that's how if you compare one to one, Hashem says, "Oh, you sorry? Oh, that's very good. You know what? Keep the money. You know what? I'm going to give you even more." That's what concept of Teshuvah. That's why it had to be created before the world. But if person is not regretting what he did, these illicit relations or other cardinal sins, I mean, how is it going to help him? Okay, go ahead.
So the example is if an Israelite, because suppose if Israelite takes a wife from Canaan, which I think is forbidden, the cardinal sins, it could say that if one must die before committing that type of sin. But what if that Israelite does not die in that moment? What is in relation with Yom Kippur? Can be forgiven for that?
I mean, you would need me to help me with the question, but I want to address a few issues. First of all, it's not like a Jew cannot marry non-Jew. Doesn't matter from Canaan or from France or from Australia. It does not make any difference. So a Jew cannot marry them. But if is he going to get a death penalty if he married non-Jew? No. There is no death penalty for that. But for the other illicit relations, yes, he would get. But if I understand correctly, you're asking me if he was forced to do something or no?
No, if he voluntarily
Okay.
he went to a wife from he acquired a wife from Canaan and commit the act, and would be something that is able to be forgiven on Yom Kippur.
If he do teshuvah, if he divorced you, of course, one step of to teshuvah is rectify the sin. Meaning, we divorce today. With non-Jews and Jews, there is no actually halachic marriage, so we don't need divorce, just part, and that's it. That's what constitutes divorce. You understand? So, but and he regrets and he feels sorry and he said, "I'm not going to do it ever again." So that's the teshuvah that the person would be forgiven. Yes, 100%.
Okay, because I thought that if someone commits one of the cardinal sins, he would die immediately. That was
No. If there were two witnesses and they were warning the person, don't do it. Don't. If you're going to do it, you know what death penalty you're going to get. You're going to get such and such death penalty, and then they're going to describe to him. And he said, "Okay, I know. Stop it. Go away. I'm going to do it anyway." So he acknowledges. Of course, yeah. So and the witnesses come to the court that testify against this person, against this Jew, and he's getting death penalty for sure. Yes. And even so, but once the court pronounced the death penalty, and he said, "I'm very sorry, I'm not going to do it again," we say, "Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Jew, but we must kill you anyway." So once the court pronounced a sentence, they must carry it, even if the witnesses say, "Apologize, Mr. Judge, we lied. Somebody paid us $1 million, and we are the lowest people in the world. Please forgive us. We cooked up the whole testimony. It's not true." It's too late. A victim must die. You understand? So there is no going back on their testimony. So, but if there are no witnesses or no warning, or there were witnesses to the act, but there was no prior warning, he does not get a death penalty. I mean, from the court here, but from the court in Shammai, for sure, yes. That's one of the example of karet, right? Some people pronounce karet. Chorus, when the person's soul is being cut from the Jewish nation, and his life gets shortened in this world, and he does not have a world to come.
Yes, I was talking about karet. If a karet sin would mean that the person is going to die immediately.
No, maybe yes, maybe no. If he's overdue with his sins, yeah, he might die immediately. But others people can have this karet thing hanging over their head, and they can live for another 20 years. It's Hashem's calculation how long people are going to live. Maybe he needs this person to support his family. He has a righteous son. You understand? So the son is not deserving to go like hungry or to be poor just because of his stupidity of his father. Understand? So
And is this relation a correct sin?
say it again.
The illicit relations is correct?
For what relations? For with a non-Jew?
Yes.
I don't think so. No, not for with non-Jew.
Okay, so I also other question now about Hebrew, because isn't Hamotzi, the word Hamotzi, bread? Because
Yes.
I read that lechem is also bread. I'm not
No,
sure.
no, lechem, hamotzi lechem in choretz. Yes, that's the blessing. Who the translation who brings the bread from the ground. That's what the blessing for.
But isn't also lechem a suffix that means yours?
Is a suffix? I don't know.
For example, einayhem, your eyes, or is different suffix?
I think it's the different suffix.
Maybe one is with head and the other with hey. I'm guessing.
Lechem is a hay.
Okay. So that was my doubt. So thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Any other questions? Okay, so if not, yeah, go ahead, please, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Was there somebody else?
No, nobody else. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there was a question on the app. Someone asked, what do we say when do we say the blessing if the city one lives in is connected to other cities?
Okay, so and it's pertaining to traveling, right? That's I guess that's the topic. So if two cities are connected, there it's like halachically it's the same city. It's same. We don't care about these names of the places. It's for us. It's the same inhabited area. So there is no danger. So danger, especially in olden days, right? When you go like beyond the city limits, there are all the bandits, all of these thieves and highway robbers. That's where they would be the danger. But in the city limit, usually there is no danger because there are people and they can help. So that's like the reason. So even if two cities are together, for us it's one inhabited area. If there is no like 2.5 miles between them, like open space, like fields and forests, so it's we don't say any blessings. Okay. Any other questions?
I had one more, Rob.
Please.
When we say the blessings for like the foods and the grains and
Yes.
whatnot, I know on some of our like little sheets magnets that we have on our fridge, I know it says Baruch atah Adonai, and I noticed that you had said the other day Baruch atah Hashem. Is there a difference between saying those Baruch atah Hashem and Baruch atah Adonai?
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's an amazing question. So one of the things that we're trying to do, not to use Hashem's name lightly in vain. So one example is actually what we had today when we said when the person is too close, forgot completely to say the blessing for the road, right? And the person is too close, less than 2.5 miles to the final destination. So you're still alive. There is still a danger in these 2.5 miles that can happen, God forbid, with a person. There's still danger, still in danger. Some like minor, but still a danger. But it's still it's not a great distance. What sages call great distance. So we say the blessing without last line, and last line is actually blessing of Hashem. So you say all of the text, but without blessing of Hashem. Because why? Because maybe this blessing is not necessary. So we try not to use Hashem's name in vain. So the word Hashem, it means Hashem, His name. His name. So when you say Hashem, I mean what? I don't want to pronounce His name for no reason, right? For no reason, only when the reason when I say the blessing. So if I read the whole line from the Torah, I can say His name, Adoi, as you pronounce it. So, but usually everybody understands what does it mean. So I would not say it, even though they say it. Okay, if I would read Tehillim, for example, for sure I would pronounce properly. And when we say blessing, of course we say Adoi, right? Of course, there is no. I'm not going to finish this word, right? So we say Adoi. But when we teach, so there is no purpose to repeat the same sentence like beginning of the blessing and Hashem's name in vain, because everybody knows what's going on. But of course, when we teach little children, so we don't say Hashem, right? We say Adoi, or like we teach them properly with proper pronunciation, because these little kids they're going to remember the blessing in their own way. Right, and then the time comes to say the blessing. They're going to say a wrong blessing. They would say Hashem, Baruch Atah Hashem, and it's going to be a wrong blessing. That's not what we say. We say Baruch Atah Adoi, right? So when there is no purpose, there is no reason, like strong, strict reason to pronounce complete name. So we don't pronounce. And sometimes when I read, I would say that's not how we pronounce. I mispronounce some names in purpose. And sometimes in many books they written like in not the proper way. For example, we say Elohim, right? That's not how it is pronounced. So I will substitute one letter. So but everybody understand what I say. Understand? So we say our God, right? Elohim. And some other names, I would say Kel, but K is not the right letter. So the one more time, we're trying to be careful not to use Hashem's name in vain. That's the bottom line. But when we say blessed, or when we teach others, especially kids, that's we must say Adoi. So yeah, that's a proper name. Okay. Got it? Clear? What we said?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So the proper, whatever it says on your refrigerator is correct. But when we learn, since one time I can say if needed, but other like more than one time is not necessary. Okay. Any other questions before we stop? Okay, if not, so we can stop here, and to be continued tomorrow. So we have Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. Beezrat Hashem. Thank you very much. Good night.